If Marcus Freeman wants to leave Notre Dame, I think he'll be the next head coach of the New York Football Giants. That's what longtime New York columnist Ian O'Connor had to say when he went on the Giants Nation show with Bobby Skinner. A lot of rumors surrounding Freeman and Big Blue, and we're going to break them down on today's show. But I promise you this, nobody is going to cover this head coach search better than we are here at New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. So if you want up-to-the-minute updates on this football team, hit that big red subscribe button right now and help us get to 99,000 subscribers. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports, and I am your host, Marshall Green. Will Marcus Freeman be the next head coach for the New York Giants? We're breaking it down on today's show. Shout out to Bobby Skinner of Giants Nation Show. Getting Ian O'Connor on his program was awesome, and we got to talk about what O'Connor had to say, so let's dive into it. Quote, talking about Marcus Freeman, he said he was talking to Notre Dame about giving him a new contract. It seems like they're going to have to do that every year because Freeman is going to be an attractive candidate every year. You see the way he runs his program, the way he carries himself in the public. He is, you could see, that CEO type of head coach, which a lot of owners want now. And he's never coached in the NFL. So that's a question mark. But to coach at a high-profile program like Notre Dame and to have the success he's had is impressive. So I think if he's willing to leave Notre Dame, I think he'd get the New York Giants job. Frankly, if he wants to leave, if he wants to coach in the NFL, I do think he'll be the next coach of the New York Giants. I mean, I don't know how much clearer Ian can make it. If Marcus Freeman wants to be the coach of the Giants are going to hire him as their next head coach. It's pretty self-explanatory from what he said. And that's what we've been hearing over the last couple of days. And Josh Pate, who is someone who is extremely tapped in to college football, shout out to him. He went on the Bussin' with the Boys podcast, and he said this, I just think Marcus Freeman is going to be in play for the Giants job. I think a lot of people in the college football administrative world know that and expect that. The agency world knows that and expects that. It's not a deal. It's not a done deal. I'm not going Schefter. If it's even a remote possibility, and I certainly think it is, then that means the Notre Dame job may be open as well. So you have Ian O'Connor saying the job is his if he wants it. Josh Pate essentially saying the exact same thing. And then Mike Garafolo said Notre Dame head coach Marcus Freeman is expected to be a top candidate for the Giants head coach position. This tweet comes from the NFL Network. This is what Garafolo said in that hit. Quote, Marcus Freeman has been mentioned as a guy who should be in the Giants head coaching search. And yeah, that is the case. I expect him to be the foremost among the college candidates. This is going to be a widespread search. I think it's safe to say at this point the Giants' interest in the Notre Dame head coach is extremely serious. You wouldn't have Ian O'Connor, Josh Pate, as well as Mike Garafolo, three of the top insiders at what they do, saying these things if it was not true. It all boils down to this, though. Will he leave Notre Dame? Does he want to leave Notre Dame? Does he want to be a coach in the National Football League? If he wants to leave and he wants to coach in the NFL, sounds like the Giants would welcome him with open arms. Marcus Freeman, back in the early part of December, sat down with the New York Post. Shout out to Brandon London. And B. London asked him straight up, there's rumors about you and the Giants. What do you have to say? And he said the gratitude you have for, one, even being mentioned by an organization like that, talking about the Giants, I got a lot of respect for all NFL teams. But the history of the Giants is tremendous. But it's gratitude for me. It reminds me of the honor that I have to be in the position I have. And I've said that before. I use that to remind myself of the gratitude that I have for this position. Because you wouldn't have said that statement if I didn't have this job and we weren't having success. I read that and he says pretty much, yeah, I've got a strong admiration for the New York Giants. And I don't want to put words in his mouth, but if I'm reading in between the lines, it says, yeah, I might be interested in the New York Giants head coaching job. He didn't shut it down. He didn't say, no. I respect the Giants. I think it'd be an awesome job, but I am locked in with the Fighting Irish, and I am going to be their head coach. He could have said that if he felt that way. But I think it's safe to say at this point, there is at least mutual interest in the Giants and Freeman. Because if Freeman wasn't interested in the Giants, this story wouldn't have grown the legs that it has up to this point. You wouldn't hear Garafolo listing Freeman as their top candidate, at least when it comes to college coaches, even though the NFL Network account tweeted out a top candidate. So kind of, I would say, they're saying two different things, but I think we all agree what they're saying at this point. If Freeman was not interested in the Giants job, there would not be this much smoke. I'm not saying he's going to leave, but I think that he's at least thought about it, and maybe there's even been some conversations about it. We'll see. My question to you as we continue to dive into today's video is this. Do you think the Giants should hire Marcus Freeman? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Make sure you are hooked up with our Giants Now by Chat Sports shirt. Support the brand, support the team, and rock some fresh gear. Chatsports.com/GiantsNow shirt. The holiday season is here, and this is the gift to give or give to yourself. Chatsports.com/GiantsNow shirt. So what do I think about Marcus Freeman? I'll say this. He has home run potential as the New York Giants head coach. This is a guy that if you hire him, you probably have the belief that he could be the next head coach for 5, 10, 15, and 20 years potentially. If he obviously has the success he did at Notre Dame like he did with the Giants, he could be their coach for maybe the next couple of decades. And it would feel like in the moment the Giants hit a home run. They pulled away Notre Dame's head coach, a coach that has a lot of interest when it comes to every job opening in college and even NFL openings over the last couple of years. It would be exciting. It would be something to root for. I think it would make the Giants fans feel something. And there's a lot of Notre Dame fans that are Giants fans as well. And while they may be sad they're losing their college head coach, I think they would be extremely pumped up that he would be their NFL head coach. I do worry about a couple of things, though, as he is rising my leaderboard and candidates list of people that I want. Marcus Freeman's approaching the top, but he's not a bulletproof candidate. Like, I worry about the fact that he's never coached in the NFL before. How many times have we seen college coaches go from college to the NFL and they don't work out? Or how many times have we seen a college coach go to the NFL, it doesn't work out, and they go to another job and then it does work out? Like, it's going to take some time for him to learn the NFL game. I do think, though, the college game and the NFL game is as close and as similar, though, as it has ever been in this new NIL era. Like, another thing is, like, who is he going to hire on his staff? That's going to be the most important thing for him. He doesn't have that NFL experience. He may not have the most NFL relationships. And I don't want John Mara suggesting to hire an offensive coordinator like Jason Garrett when he hired Joe Judge. Let him build his staff. And I worry about letting him build his staff because it's going to be important. If you're a CEO coach, you got to have a kick-ass offensive coordinator. You got to have a badass defensive coordinator. Is he going to be able to put those people in place with the lack of relationships he has across the National Football League? When it comes to being a CEO type of head coach, being a leader, demanding respect, motivating players, holding people accountable, being that type of coach like Tom Coughlin was, like Bill Parcells was in that regard, I think that he has a major plus in that department. I don't have any worry in the world that he'll be able to control his locker room, get people to leave it all out on the football field, hold people accountable. No worry at all in that department. I think players will rally around Marcus Freeman. I just worry about more of the X's and O's. And like, let's go to this as well. Like, are we sure the Giants need to go out and hire a CEO type of head coach? Their defense looks like it could be coached up a little bit. And I know he's been a defensive coordinator in college before. And I know he played college football and he was a practice squad guy in the NFL. Are we sure we don't need a defensive-minded head coach? Are we absolutely sure we don't need an offensive-minded head coach to come in and continue to coach up Jackson Dart? I think we all watched that Minnesota Vikings game and said, Dart didn't look good, and that's okay. He's a rookie, but he also didn't look good against the Patriots, and he didn't look good in the first half against the Washington Commanders. Like, we all love Jackson Dart. At least I think a lot of people do. And even the people that do love him like I do, we all got a little bit of a worry in the back of our brain after the last 3 weeks watching him regress as a quarterback under Mike Kafka, which is A-okay because he's a rookie. But let's just not act like you could throw any coach with Jackson Dart and Dart's going to keep on elevating. He's a young quarterback who is projected as a raw prospect. You might need an offensive-minded head coach to continue to build and grow and develop Jackson Dart. I don't know. This is the most important hire for the New York Giants in God knows how long, and they better get it right. Isn't Marcus Freeman the right choice? I'd say he's at the top of that list of the available candidates at this point. Keep your eye on this. Keep your eyes on the Baltimore Ravens and how they're going to fare the rest of the season as I pull up their schedule. John Harbaugh, it feels like, seat may be heating up. They are likely not going to play the playoffs, not going to make the playoffs, after they just blew another big lead against the New England Patriots. And you still got to play the Packers, and you still got to play the Steelers. And if he loses his last 3 games, you might see the Baltimore Ravens and Harbaugh have agreed to part ways. And if he is available as a head coach, and I get it, he hasn't won a Super Bowl in God knows how long. But when's the last time they weren't good? When's the last time they didn't win a lot of games? When's the last time they weren't in the mix? He would rise to the top of my list. So just keep your eyes on that. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram @MarshallGreen_.